We are all in the midst of the festival of democracy, that is the elections of India. With the first date for celebration coming on April 19th, so we are going to have the first phase of elections on April 19th. But a very important issue going up to the Supreme Court today, and the Supreme Court has agreed to list the petitions and hear the pleas of one association which fights for democratic reforms, called as the Association of Democratic Reforms, and many other opposition parties with regard to the EVM, along with the voter verifiable paper audit trail, or the VVPAT system which is attached to the EVM. Now, previously we used to use voter slips for voting and for registering our vote during the election period. That was taken over by the EVMs, that is the electronic voting machine. But due to certain doubts with regard to the functioning of the EVM, and to make sure that the vote is correctly registered, the Election Commission of India, to make elections fair, and brought about a system called as the voter verifiable paper audit trail. It is a small paper that is attached to the EVM, where when the person registers, places his vote, the same is reflected in the paper which is printed as soon as he presses the button. Now, during the counting of the votes, let me tell you that the VVPAT were not counted. All the VVPATs are not counted and matched to the vote that is registered in the EVM. So previously, until 2019, only one constituency in each state of the VVPAT used to be verified, and they used to check the correctability of the votes that were registered in the EVM and the VVPAT. But this went on to be the verifiability of 5 constituencies from one constituency, and now again to verify at least 50% or more than that, that is the votes that are registered in the EVM along with the VVPAT also should be counted. A slew of petitions have gone to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court agreed to therefore list the series of petitions seeking direction to the Election Commission of India, who conducts the election and who's responsible for fair elections, transparent elections, to cross-verify and count not only the EVMs, and at present the system of only counting 5 machines, EVMs, VVPATs, but also counting a maximum number of EVMs and the VVPATs, at least maybe more than 50%, as according to the opposition parties that they are saying. So what exactly is a VVPAT? Now, initially this was introduced in 2014 when there were many doubts raised about the functioning of the electronic voting machine. At that time, voter verifiable paper audit trail, or VVPAT, which is a system to verify the votes without the traditional ballot papers directly linked with the EVM, was introduced. The VVPAT produces a paper slip which is visible to the voter through a glass, enabling him to confirm that his vote was correctly registered. So the proof of his correctability of his vote is now registered in the VVPAT, and he cannot, after him pressing the button for the political party or the candidate that he chooses. So the slip includes the name and the symbol of the party of the voter, that the voter which he selects. So moreover, the machine also features a transparent window through which the voter can observe the printed slip after he presses the button. Ultimately, then the slip is securely placed inside the sealed compartment of the machine, through which it can be accessed only in the case of disputes. And presently in the state, only 5 constituencies VVPATs are matched with the EVM votes. So if the voting has to be transparent, then all the VVPATs, in my opinion, should be counted along with the EVM, even if they are time taking, as said by the Election Commission of India, because I believe the paper is sticky and it would take more number of days to count the VVPATs along with the votes that are registered in the EVM. But for elections to be fair and transparent, even if it takes time, it doesn't matter. So now we have almost 102 parliamentary constituencies in 21 states and union territories would go to polls in the first phase on April 19. The petitions therefore have come to sort a complete count of the VVPAT slips, and just not for 5 constituencies as it is there now in the elections, as opposed to the current practice of verifying only 5 randomly selected constituencies to match the EVM votes with the VVPAT paper slips. They referred to the plea referred to the judgment of the Apex Court, which was given in 2013, which is called as the Subramaniam Swamy versus the Election Commission of India, that the election process should have fullest transparency in the system, and to restore the confidence of the voters, all the VVPATs have to be checked with the EVM votes. So the court had held that the paper trail was an indispensable requirement for free and transparent and fair conduct of elections, and directed the ECI to introduce the VVPATs in the EVMs in 2013. It is the satisfaction and verification of the voter that is at the heart of electoral democracy, and just not of the ECI, the domain experts and the political parties. This was what the Supreme Court went on to say in the case in 2013 while asking the ECI to introduce VVPATs with the EVMs in the Subramaniam Swamy versus the Election Commission of India case in 2018. Now, one of the petitions filed by one activist named Arun Agarwal has challenged the guideline of the Election Commission of India mandating a sequential VVPAT verification, that is, one after the other, causing undue delay. Now, the petitions propose simultaneous VVPAT verification by deploying more personnel in case it is tedious for counting in each constituency, and now this would allow the VVPAT to be done in very less period of time, almost 5 to 6 hours. So if there is manpower, the counting can be done, and also it can be done faster. It noted that the government is spending so much of money to purchase the VVPATs, like almost 5,000 crore has been shelled out to purchase 24 lakh VVPATs, but only at the end of the day some 20,000 VVPATs are verified, and therefore this is a waste of money. The EC in the affidavit in last year had said that there is no fundamental right of the voter to verify through VVPAT that they cast their vote was recorded and counted as recorded. But then definitely I think that this comes under the right to information and the right to know the credibility of his vote registered. Now, the existing VVPAT enables the electors to check whether their votes have gone to the candidate of their choice. Further, there is a provision for mandatory verification of the printed VVPAT slips of 5 randomly selected polling stations in the assembly constituency or the segment, which is the audit of the electronic vote before the results. This was what the Election Commission of India said. The EC said that counting of 100% of the VVPAT slips would pose a great difficulty, for they are chemically coated and they are very sticky, so it would take more time to count the slips alone. Now, this is not the first time that the issue has been brought up, and as I told you that in April 2019 the Supreme Court directed the Election Commission of India to raise the number of EVMs subjected to the VVPAT physical verification from just 1 to 5 per assembly segment in a parliamentary constituency. In May 2019, the Supreme Court went on to reject a writ petition advocating for complete counting of the VVPATs in the Lok Sabha elections. The announcement of the Lok Sabha elections 2019 followed 2 days later. Now, earlier the same month in 2019, Supreme Court dismissed a review petition submitted by 21 opposition parties, which sought to increase the verification of the VVPAT along with the EVM to 50%. So I strongly feel that if the elections want to be transparent, free and fair, then definitely, and if they feel that the VVPATs are being recorded correctly, the votes of the electors are being recorded correctly, then there should be no there should be no backwardness on the side of the Election Commission of India, neither the government, to verify all the VVPATs that have been recorded, that is the vote of the elector that has been recorded in the VVPATs along with the EVM that was recorded. So this was few points which I thought I should share with you, because free and fair elections are the cornerstone of Indian democracy, and it is mentioned in Article 324. So if you did like these points, please do like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video, and I shall see you in my next post. Until then, it's very happy learning.